Alright, so Scooby-Doo Zombie Island was a movie that came out towards the end of the 90s, and this is, like last year I reviewed Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghost, so why not review Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island? So it's about, the Scooby Gang are kind of tired of mystery solving, and so they decide to retire from it until they are lured to a ghost sighting on an island for Daphne's TV show, because now she's a TV host with Fred as the producer and cameraman. And so some spooky things happen, and that's the movie, basically. I kind of like how this movie is kind of calling out the tropes of Scooby-Doo. The characters go somewhere, and then a monster comes, and then it's revealed to be some dude in a mask. So it's basically just like, yeah, we're kind of fed up with that story, so let's try this. That's what I like about this movie. It's different. And it actually takes risk with Scooby-Doo. Like, they actually have actual monsters in it and ghosts, which is cool. So it's proven that Scooby-Doo can have supernatural aspects to it. Even the stuff that, like, the gang retiring, that's kind of fascinating to me. Just like in the live action one where the gang get into a fight and then they go their separate ways. Basically in this, like, Scooby and Shaggy are security guys at a airplane security line or whatever. Velma's a librarian, and I already said Daphne and Fred. That sounds fine since it's just like showing what they do, what they could do outside of mystery solving. But then when they meet this lady with black hair, I forget her name, and she basically is just like, ooh, there's spooky stuff that goes on in the house, and they're just like, ooh, yes, let's go down this route and go find the spookiness there. And then the person who owns the house is a girl named Simone, and yeah, she's very not like people outside of America or whatever you live. Like, she doesn't have a TV, she lives by herself, and honestly, the place she lives at is a very rich looking, like somewhere people rich would live at. And apparently there's also a theme with peppers, where Shaggy and Scooby keep trying to eat the hottest peppers on the island, and they end up burning their mouths where they have to drink the water that's in the pond or whatever. But then when supernatural stuff does happen, it's where there's writing on the walls, and then they try to film it, and basically like that they do find some strange things until Velma just like scratches the wall even more, and everything starts to add up. They also meet this guy named Bo, who's played by Cam Clark, Leonardo himself, who's the gardener of the place, and we find out later at the end that he's actually an undercover cop just trying to discover island disappearances. And so during the middle of the night, after the dinner scene or whatever, Shaggy and Scooby are in the mystery machine and they eat those peppers, but then later the gang do split up to find whatever strange things go on, and I'm pretty sure they find like a zombie, and apparently it was revealed to be it's like this urban legend that these zombies have come to the island for gold at first, but then they took away Simone and her family stuff. But then when Simone turned into a cat, they then attack visitors of the island, and basically they're immortal in a way. And so apparently these zombies have a curse. Like, if you watch the movie, it would make a little more sense. And I love the part where they think it's a mask, and Fred and Daphne try to take it off, but then they find out it's an actual zombie head, and then they throw it around. They're like screaming, and then the zombie just gets up and puts his head back on, and then more zombies start to appear, and then they play the It's Terror song. That's a really good song, by the way. It's very catchy. And then the characters are running all around the island. And then later, it's revealed that Simone went missing, and the one girl is upset because of it. And then later, we find out that she's been using them the whole time. They lured him into like a small cave, and it's revealed that they made voodoo dolls of the gang, except for Scooby and Shaggy for some reason. They even made one for the gardener, Bo, and they thought Bo was behind the mystery of this, and they even call him a suspect, and then it's revealed he's a good guy, and he has no clue what these two are. And then they reveal their origin, and then they then apparently use this cursed thing or whatever to turn into cats, and they're basically like giant mutant cats. And then even some of the other people on the island turned into the giant cats. Like they also met this guy who helped get them to the island. He turns into a giant cat, chases Scooby and Shaggy. I think he even takes off Scooby's collar, which was definitely rough to see. And they even drain Shaggy and Scooby's whatever, and then they almost die. But then they survive, of course, and they also made for some reason there was also voodoo dolls of our main villains for some reason. I don't know, that plot hole made no sense. And so, yeah, the voodoo doll stuff, it doesn't really make sense. I wonder what happened to those voodoo dolls, because they almost kill the characters. They even make the characters float and stuff. But I guess we just accept it. And then when Simone and the girl die, from because I guess their curse is up or something, and then all the spirits, the zombies, all shatter apart, and they all go back to, I don't know, heaven or whatever. And it's revealed that they were good guys the whole time. They were trying to warn the gang to get off the island. That's why there's writing on the wall. And the movie ends with the gang going back home, and they're kind of bummed because they can't show the footage because I guess the camera got hit by quicksand. And so that's Scooby-Doo Zombie Island. I had some nitpicks with it, like some potholes here and there, but I just like how this movie's different. Like, it actually wants to take a risk at being a different kind of dark Scooby-Doo movie, because this movie's rated G for some reason, even though this movie has a lot of dark themes and like a lot of scary imagery that a kid would probably be terrified to watch. But honestly, I saw this when I was little, so I don't know, it doesn't really affect me. So tell me, have you seen Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island? And this is definitely a Halloween review. So thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.